Welcome back. Now, nuclear science plays a key role in health, agriculture, energy and the environment, but many Namibian learners are unaware of its opportunities. The Regional Nuclear Science Expo aims to change that, offering interactive career stands, talks by professionals, quiz competitions and resources on bursaries, as well as university courses. Joining us to tell us a bit more is Noble Eiaseb, National Strategic Projects Research Assistant at the NCRST. Noble, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, Nina. Thank you for having me.
Well, talk to us about the importance of, raising awareness about nuclear science amongst Namibian learners.
First of all, just a brief overview of the Expo. So the great groundbreaking initiative has been created by a fund that was generated by the funds of the Chevening Alumni Program Fund, which has facilitated a grant to Ms. Nelau Njala through the British Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, facilitated by the British Commission in Namibia. So that is a great fund for enhancing and demystifying nuclear science and technology in Namibia. Yeah. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to have an outreach throughout all the regions of Namibia. We are going to have 3 main teams. Team 1 will be going through Otjiwarongo, Ocho, Otapi, and Oshakati. And Team 2 will be going through Enhana, Kurenkuru, Rundu, and Katima Mulilo. Team 3 will be going through the south, Hobabis, Marintal, Kietmansop, Ludwitz, and Roshpina. So those are the aims of that we are trying for from the period from the 14th until the 20th. So that's just an overview. So the reason why we are having this program is nuclear energy has become a critical aspect in the international globe. So what our president, through our NDPs and our Vision 2030 is saying is we need to have Namibia be a producer and an exporter of energy and electricity. So, and also being independent from imports, which is also something that is saving our country from exorbitant cost. So, in that regard, what we are trying to do is we want to try to demystify this illusion or misunderstanding or misconception that nuclear energy is only for energy, because nuclear energy also has other critical areas which deals with agriculture, environmental monitoring, and also deals with key aspects such as water monitoring and then health aspects. So we are trying to create this awareness through learners and trying to capacitate Namibians for the era that is coming.
Let's also talk a little bit about the career paths, that are available to young people when it comes to the field of nuclear science, because you're saying now that you want to take away this or demystify that it's only one directional. So what opportunities in terms of careers exist for young people who would be interested in venturing into this field? Okay,
so with nuclear, it is not only energy based. One thing that we need to understand is there are a plethora of careers that students and learners can proceed in. So, for example, if we are looking at the agricultural side, there are aspects of isotopic hydrogeology. This is where we have to look at our groundwater, our aquifers, looking at water contaminants, and also in that way also trying to enhance our soil fertility, trying to enhance our let's say, for example, water holding capacity for our agriculture, because we have food security issues, we have water scarcity issues. And then another aspect we can look at is in our health sector, because currently we are faced with a persisting problem with we don't have access to in remote areas. So we want to have radiochemists, we want to have radiographers, we want to have radiochemists in the sense of early detection of diseases at a cellular level. So creating niche doctors, bringing in oncologists, and also trying to break down that barrier whereby an African child or a Namibian child could also be capacitated to think that I can also be an oncologist, I can also do this. And then if we move into the area of monitoring, so we use nuclear energy to monitor, let's say, for example, or monitor water systems, water aquifers, groundwater, and also in order to create, let's say, pest-resistant crops. Because we are faced with food security issues, water scarcity issues, and so forth.
How will the Expo help learners to really see these opportunities that you've mentioned clearly?
So what we are trying to do is we are trying to be more practical. We are trying to ensure that the learners actually get to not only to get the abstract part of it, we want to have hands-on. So we are going to have quizzes, we are going to have shows, and we are going to involve the learners themselves. So what the learners are going to do there, for example, we are going to have groups, various groups that the learners are going to maybe have a presentation on an aspect of a theme of nuclear science and technology, and then we are going to see where do they understand, what are the gaps that are lacking, where can we come in, how do we help the learners, and also ensuring that the learners have a platform to actually engage with professionals that are actually educated in the field, or just not just parroting the word. So having the experts, the specialists, actually giving over the information through.
Does the Expo support, teachers or career counselors in guiding learners, towards these STEM fields or, nuclear-related fields?
Yes, definitely. Our aim here is to ensure that we don't only capacitate the learners, we want to capacitate the counselors that are working with the learners, the teachers that are working with the learners. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a network of, a collaborative network of the teachers and of the counselors, because they are the first point of contact with the learners. So what we want to do is we want to ensure that the learners, the counselors and the teachers have, we create some sort of training for them. We give them networking opportunities. We want to create exchange programs with other international partners, strategic partners, and also to give them material that they can use in their syllabi to infuse and allow learners to understand where this need is coming from, and also to trigger that feeling of, this is also something that I can look at. This is an avenue that I can look in. This is a trajectory that I can follow. So there is career development for teachers, career capacitation for teachers, and also ensuring that we create networks and have issues like avenues of scholarships, avenues of, as I said, exchanges of research institutes, avenues of exchange with universities and so forth.
Fantastic.
So there is that aspect of capacitating the teacher, because they're the first
that teams will be sent out to. Just talk to us a little bit more about that and exactly what will transpire in each of these places.
Okay, so the idea here is to ensure that we reach as many learners as possible. We have a week to reach as many learners as possible. So what we are going to do, what I call a education marathon. So we are going to, in collaboration with MASEC, with Ministry of Health and Social Services. So, like let's say, for example, if we go to also the Juba region, then there will be a main town. Let's say, for example, we go to Otjiwarongo.
Right.
So the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with us, has created in such a way the partnership that they would bring in students also from surrounding areas that actually collaborate. So, for example, different schools will be at that main point. So we create, for every region, we have one main focal point for this specific leg, and then so we move. One day we are in Monday. For example, Monday we're in one town. We finish that there. That day we drive through to the next town. The next day we're in that town. We do. So we have exhibition stalls. We have all the material, and we have all the. We want to create such a. We want to create great awareness throughout the country, and also to capacitate areas where that is less advantage, so to speak, because this idea actually started back in the day with the Ministry of Health and Social Services, where they, in 2002, the initiative was actually there, and the government actually put out funds, but there was no other support back then. So they had only reached Windhoek learners in basic in commerce. So now what we are trying to do with the great help that we are getting from the Chevening alumni program fund is to ensure that we reach as many students as possible, at least in this first round, and then also to collaborate. So
Awesome.
creating ecosystems in that manner.
Yeah. And what dates are we talking, Noble?
So we are talking, the teams will be leaving Windhoek from the 14th, so Sunday, and then be running through from Monday until next week Monday until next week Friday, and then be heading back to Windhoek the Sunday.
Right.
Yes, so that is the education marathon that I'm talking about.
How do you envision this initiative, Noble, contributing to Namibia's future workforce in science?
So one thing that we need to understand is that we are in a situation where we have a high unemployment rate. Now, when we don't necessarily have, we have a lot of, let's just use a scenario. We have a lot of graduates that are unemployed or even underemployed. So when we bring in learners and put them through this system where we have already created collaborative systems and channels where we can put a place with them with our partners, our research institutions and so forth, and also to help to upgrade and upskill our graduates that are currently unemployed, to capacitate them, because what we are trying to do as a nation is trying to ensure that we have a human capital that is capable of ensuring that we don't only create an industry, but there must be people that are able to actually work in that industry. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a strong nuclear science and technology industry with a strong workforce that is prepared for it, and also to ensure that those that are already let's say, for example, an electrician that is already has graduated but is unemployed. So there are avenues in the nuclear sector that we can use them in. Let's say, for example, a chemist that is on the street. They can be used. So we do want to create a system whereby we reduce the unemployment rate, and then we want to capacitate the country for economic development, to remove social economic ills and so forth.
Fantastic. Yes. Well, we look forward to seeing how it all unfolds, Noble, and all the best. And thank you so much for your time here this evening.
Thank you very much, Nina, for having me.
Well, we're going to take a very brief break and some more conversation comes up after this. Stay with us.